reflect the opinions of Touch Radio or its staff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's up? What's up? This is Power Move, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. What it do, party people? Man, I just literally came back from Baltimore, went to the Capitol Jazz Festival, had a blast, hung out with my peoples, hung out with Eric Benet, did a fantastic show. Sheila E., Shantae Moore, Will Downing. The list goes on and on. Tamia, Stokely. This was an incredible event. It was all black love in the place to be. You when you down in the Maryland DMV area, you got to get you some good seafood. So I had some great seafood up in the DMV area, and it was just a fantastic time. And then all of a sudden, I'm flying out of Baltimore, going into Tampa, and once I touch down, I'm reaching out to my family, let them know that I'm landed safely, and bang bang, MKW found out that he had just passed away. Everybody from several guests that came on the show, from Al Lyrical, which was his best friend. I'm talking about they came up in the acting game together, came up in the clubs. We all hung out in the clubs, but him and Al were brothers. They were working on some projects together. So, I'd like to send my prayers out. I want you guys to send my prayers out to my man, Al Lyrical. But everybody, from Dan Pearson was also another guest on the show. That was the first person that I saw when I saw that notice. From the acting world to folks that used to rap with him, dance with him, knew him from the clubs. He was a backup dancer to Crystal Waters when he first got in the game. This is a monumental loss, and that's why I have to wear my Brooklyn Dodgers hat, because that energy that brother brought anywhere he went. As a matter of fact, Wendell Pierce called him an activism because he always gave back, to the community. My folks, Jesse and Yuli Torero, they got TNT Casting, and Jesse does a lot of videos for a lot of the reggaeton artists, and he was the director that did Soul Plane, and him and Yuli have a really tight relationship with Michael, so they're really hurting. So just prayers to all the friends and the family. But one thing I would say, his tribute to DMX was off the chain, and it definitely evoked that same energy, right? But the one thing I would say is, one thing that we learn from this thing that we experience called life is that you gotta live it to the fullest. We don't know when the other end of the dash comes through, but what we do know is when you're on your path to the dash, make it impactful. Focus on what's your legacy gonna be. What are you leaving behind so others can build upon it? If there's anything that Michael K. Williams did, or Mike did, was that he put it all out there, from someone that came from nothing to someone that has such a huge impact and a huge heart. So I want to talk about that. I would be remiss if I didn't. That's heavy on my mind. The other thing we got to talk about is Cedric Ceballos. Right now, he's fighting COVID, and he's on a ventilator. So let's send out some heavy prayers for him. And one thing I do want to share, which is my friend Shanti Das, her nonprofit, and keep in mind this month is Suicide Prevention Month. Just to let you know, it is Suicide Prevention Month, and which is why mental health is something prevalent. We talk about power moves, but you can't make power moves if you don't have the right, if you're not in the right spiritual and mental space. And so, I brought in an expert, and I'm gonna read his bio. He's been here before, but now he's gonna have a whole show to himself because, and we really want to help our audience, and I want you to share this with others because, this pandemic, 18 months, 19 months, wears on you. It wears on you. The country is being divided upon should they wear a mask, should they not wear a mask, vaccinated or unvaccinated. We have to pay attention to how people are trying to split us apart and realize that we can take ownership of how we can do things and how our lives can be so much better. So, I want to make sure I brought in an expert in light of, and I caught him at the last minute. It's good to have good friends, right? Caught him at the last minute while he was driving. He was like, all right, man, I'll do it for you. But I want to leave a quote before I go into his bio of Shanti Das, "The Silence to Shame." And so this is for each and every one of you. If you are experiencing any type of anxiety, any type of depression, go to Silence to Shame. There's a lot of resources there. Also, go to www.drjasonrichardson.com and tap into his resources that he has available. But the one thing I want to say is Shanti's quote is, "Give yourself credit for pulling yourself out of that dark mental place. It's not easy, and yet you are here doing it." So keep in mind, we are a community. We may be doing different jobs, but ultimately, and that's what I loved about going to the Capitol Jazz Festival. Met some great people, and the unity came from the fact that we all love good music, right? And so another common thing that we have is as a unit, as a community, is we all love living to the most, enjoying life, laughing, right? And so I want to share with you this world champion, Pan Am Games gold medalist, highly sought after speaker, a high performance coach, and an Olympic psychologist. And he traded training for the BMX as a professional BMX racer to studying and getting his undergrad and graduate degrees while he was racing. Post-retirement, he planned to transition into the corporate life, and then he decided to use his MBA in global marketing to help companies expand their reach. Except there was a problem. It wasn't the best one. So he listened and he did some commentating in the booth, and he realized that public speaking was his gift. And so, as a husband, a father, and a man that loves cars, in his heart, Jay Rich is a people person. So helping corporate brands was not fulfilling his mission. What is helping people and individuals reach their peak potential by utilizing what's here, right? And making sure that they maximize on it. So he course corrected, and then he went back to the classroom and earned his doctorate in psychology. His latest achievement, besides winning gold, and after he retired, was working and helping other Olympic athletes in helping them achieve their goals. With thousands of hours of conversations, aiding people overcoming their own limitations, he focuses on them and his desire to do more, get better, and be happier. So his hashtag is all about the hashtag championship life, which requires you to recognize and play on your strengths while you recontextualize your weaknesses, treating your day-to-day mentality the way a champion athlete approaches physical training will allow you to maximize not just your potential, but your achievements. In short, more, better, happier. So on that note, it's time to start living your championship life. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Jason Richardson. What it do, baby? What it do?
Is this thing on? Are we good? We
We,
live?
we are
Direct?
live and direct, brother. We are live and direct.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Where do we begin? I'll let you. I have plenty to say, but I don't know how it's going to come out. So I'll just let you guide the conversation.
So I'm going to guide the conversation.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my partner in crime, Kevin, could not make it. Kevin Carr with Pro the CEO, and the theme of our show is mental toughness.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to stretch that a little bit, the whole mental toughness thing. But and that stands for, and his 9 medallions all stand for the word champions, right? And so I guess really what I want to start off with is everyone is faced with adversity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everyone deals with pain differently. Everyone has different levels of pain, right? So how does an individual tap into their potential to overcome or deal with that pain, right? From your perspective.
Big questions. So you've mentioned mental toughness. I haven't quite worked that out yet because I understand what it means. I know what the words mean. But I have a hard time with it because I think how it's interpreted, it's a fine line between mental toughness and hard-headedness. I'll put it that way. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I talk more, better, happier, and I'm working with Olympian or executive or whatever sales team or whatever, it's like, okay, if you got the talent and a bit of drive, okay, to like make the sales goal, to get the corner office, to win the race, whatever it is, we can do that. And there's mental skills that will help you hone in to do that. And I help people with that. But what I know and where I really work with people is, what do you do with yourself once you cross the finish line? Because the mental toughness can allow you to achieve a thing. See what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to say hard-headedness, and I say that as an athlete myself. Like, I would get right in there and just dig into whatever that was, right? The grind, the work, and we romanticize about that, and it's valuable, right? So I'm not here to say don't work hard, but I want to be what's the word, responsible to this. And when I say this life, right?
Mm-hmm.
These lives that are listening, these people that are listening, and that do not mistake mental toughness for hard-headedness. Okay. So when we're faced with adversity or pain, and I'm talking pain, right? Like, the kind we medicate for. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And when I
Mm-hmm.
say
Mm-hmm.
medicate, I'm talking drink, I'm talking drugs, I'm talking all that bad behavior that you're not supposed to do. You know what I'm saying, Jen? I'm not
Right.
talking like a glass of wine with dinner. I'm talking like that's your go-to to feel better. I'm using air quotes.
Mm-hmm. Now keep in mind, Jason, because we got about 30 seconds, so I think
Yeah.
we might have to hold up. We have to hold people up and give them a cliffhanger at the end of the break, and then we come right back
Yes,
to
let's do that. But I want to, because I want to get it. I want to peel this onion. It's too
yeah, yeah,
important.
yeah. I
It's too
see you. I
important.
see you
It's
was
too important for sound bites.
absolutely, absolutely, and they give me the countdown 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I love it. My producers are doing their thing. So once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you after the break on In Touch News Radio, reality radio where everyone is a star. Talk to you later.
In Touch Radio, where you can listen to a cruising flow of smooth soul and jazz, today's R&B, a fun touch of hip-hop and gospel.
All my music on one station.
Giving you a buffet of music, news, and entertainment. We're In Touch Radio.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen of sundown 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, plus your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky. It's a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
We back. All right, we back. So this is In Touch News Radio, reality radio where everyone is a star. We are here with an expert, Olympic champion, BMX professional racer, now psychologist and high performance coach, Dr. Jason Richardson. And during the last segment, we talked a little bit about, the question was, how does one engage or tap into their mental toughness to be able to deal with the adversity that occurs on a day-to-day basis, and how people address, some people address pain in different ways. And Dr. Richardson was getting ready to get the surgical knives through and go all in. So continue on, brother.
Yeah, so I was going to go in. I was about to go in, but where did I leave? I said, do not confuse mental toughness with hard-headedness. And it's a fine line. I recognize that. So when we're dealing with pain, the pain that drives one to, I'll say, over drink, to self-medicate, to sedate, right? To shut in yourself and shut out others. Look, there's gradients to all of this, okay? We do need time on our own, okay? We also need time with people. It is nice to cut loose. It's also nice to get to it and go to work. What happens is when we're working with these people, is that, let me back up. What happens is we have unfinished business. That's the bottom line. We have unfinished business. And when I say we, I mean most humans, okay? And it's not like you have mommy or daddy issues, although you might, okay? Let's be real. Mm-hmm. But we have unfinished business. We have things that have affected us profoundly that we have not dealt with. Whether it was a mom or dad issue or a lack thereof issue, whether it was an abandonment issue or a rejection issue or just a self acceptance or lack thereof issue, or other people accepting you issue. We have all of that. And again, within all of those, there's gradients, okay? And I think we look at somebody like an actor. We look at somebody like an athlete, or just somebody who seems to have the good job and driving the car and wearing the nice clothes, and we think everything's fine. And why wouldn't you? Those are clear metrics. Those are the metrics, right? You got the car, you got the house, you got the job, you got the family, so things are good, using air quotes. Except for the fact that you are the common denominator in your life, right? You are the one looking at yourself in the mirror every morning. You are the one alone with your thoughts every day, okay? And so when we don't deal with with that unfinished business, and we stuff it, or we just grind, and I'm not saying not to work. I'm not saying there's not a room for compartmentalizing. What I am saying is it's unsustainable. right? It's unsustainable to tend to not tend to the garden all the time. You might live in a place where it rains, right? I live in Cali, so it doesn't rain much. We have to water our gardens a lot more. Your grass might grow easier, but guess what? At some point, you might have to water it. At some point, phone issue, Bluetooth issues. At some point, so even if things seem okay, or even are okay, there's still
we lost you.
Do you have me now? Okay.
We got you now.
Yeah, my headphones don't know which device to connect to. So anyways, so it's that unfinished business that I want to get at. And by the way, it's not like, yo, Dr. Jason Richardson's got it all figured out. No, Dr. Jason Richardson is figuring it out. All right. And working to figure it out. And that's what I want other people to do, is to work to figure it out. Because
so I want to pause right there, man, because you dropped a couple of heavy loads right there.
Mm-hmm.
One is the unfinished business. The other part is figuring it out. I love that, right? Like, I mean, well, actually working on figuring it out. Working. That's a very key component. And so, the unfinished business, what is that like? Because you're in San Diego. There's a lot of wealthy people in San Diego, baby.
There's a few.
Right? And so, and I know some of them are your clients, isn't it? So could you really explain and elaborate to folks that, and just really underscore that it doesn't matter what we have materially wise, right?
Question. How do rich people die and how do poor people die?
They die the same.
The same way. That's right.
They die the same way.
That's right. How are rich people born? How are poor people born? Most likely, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Born the same way, through a mother.
That's right. So, common denominators, right? I'm going to strip it down to common denominators, common factors. And again, you are the common denominator in your life. Deep down, right? And I'm putting mental illness aside, right? So I'm putting like diagnosable schizophrenia or anxiety disorder or panic disorder or bipolar. I'm putting that aside right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying like just average Joe. And when I say average Joe, I'm including Obama. When I say average Joe, I'm including Trump. When I say average Joe, I'm including everybody who does not have, or at least we don't think has what one would think has a diagnosable illness. But generally speaking, these things, this unfinished business that I'm talking about, it's like we have to, and I don't say have too often, but we want to take an honest look, an honest inventory of what we're saying to ourselves on a daily basis, right? How hard we are being on ourselves, where we think we are not measuring up, right? Where is that pain coming from? So because that's the thing I have sat across from Olympians that do not feel they deserve it necessarily, right? I have sat across from Olympians, okay, that could barely get on the plane to go compete. I have sat across from very high profile people whose family did not treat them right from a, how a child should be treated, standpoint.
Right.
Abuse, sexually, physically, across all lines of the spectrum, socioeconomic spectrum. All right. So we want to deal with these things. The bottom line is this: HEAL, HEAL. I don't have an acronym for it. I should make one up, but I don't have one. But the bottom line is we're all in recovery, dude. we're all in recovery, right? There is something that we can or probably should be healing from, whether it's big or small. And that's what I'm getting at. It's like, if you got anger, we want to find a way to release it. You got an anxiety, we got to find out what it is about the future that is so fearful. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You have grief, right? What was it that you did not say? Or what is it that is missing? Right? How do we fill that hole? That's where we go. To me, that's the performance plan. I think if you got, like I said, a bit of talent and a bit of drive, you probably can make your way to the top of whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, you can, and we see it, right? Obama was a stellar individual, right? Our last president, probably not, but guess what? They both had the same job, right? I went to college, I'm gonna be real. Like, I wasn't the smartest dude in my class, but I got a degree. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So again, you know, so these are the things. You got a bit of talent and a bit of drive, you probably can make it to the top. The question is, are you, well, no, there's no question. It is your responsibility, our responsibility to heal, right? To get over these things that are holding us back personally. And the thing is, like, I don't know what yours is per se, but I know there might be something, right? I don't know what the person walking down the street thing is, but it might be something. And it's in the working at it. Like, that's the grind. That's the performance plan. Because the truth is, whether you get the corner office, you get the first place medal or whatever it is, like I say, once you cross the finish line, everyone goes in different directions. You still got to look at yourself in the mirror. So I would say you better want to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. So in 3 minutes,
yep,
what would be a takeaway or a tool to help you do what you said, basically, okay. Right? So, like, you know, as you know, you're saying that we got to do the work.
So here's the thing.
Business. We
great, because I believe all of us are probably much smarter and much dumber than we think we are. Okay, right? Straight up. So I'm gonna just give some basic questions you can ask yourself. All right. And the one question is, what advice do I give others that I myself do not follow? What advice do I myself? What advice do I give others that I myself do not follow? Mm-hmm. That's one. Another question is, how do my beliefs about myself, others, and the world hold me back?
Okay. How do my beliefs and others
about myself, others, world, and hold me back, right? Because there's me, right? And then there's they, and then there's this, right? Self, others, world. And then the other question is, what can I do to win the day today? Now, there's a caveat to that last question. Win the world today. Probably doing all right with work, okay? And if you're not, okay, well, maybe that's something you need to work on. But the triune, more, better, happier, okay? More, that's your business, that's your money, that's your school. You're better, that's your health, right? That's your abilities, that's your capabilities. And the happier, those are your experience and those are your relationships. In those three domains, what can you do to win the day today? Maybe you got two of them covered. Maybe you're lacking on another one. Maybe you have all three of them to work on. Maybe you have one of them to work on. But be honest with yourself. Brutally honest. What can you do to win the day today and get to work on those things just for the day?
Okay. So you know what? We got 10 seconds left before we go commercial. I'm going to challenge you on that. More, better, and happier. But what if you're not strong enough to do that? On that note.
All right. I'm ready.
On that note, once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. We're here with Dr. Jason Richardson, the Olympic champion, here on Power Moves, In Touch Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star. See you after the break.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
This is Kevin from Steppin' With a Vision, where I teach the smooth art of Chicago-style stepping. Join me on September 24th and September 25th as I celebrate 40 years of recovery, and I celebrate my 67th birthday. Yes, 2 nights of dancing and dinner. Workshops on Saturday the 25th if you want to learn to dance at 3315 Lemon Street in Tampa, 912 East Fletcher on Saturday. See you there.
Listen to In Touch Radio anywhere. On your phone.
I'm listening to right now, man.
In your car.
I'll keep that going.
On your computer. It's a new world, baby, and we are global. In Touch Radio.
Yeah. We are back with Dr. Jason Richardson, the expert here when it comes to performance. Always striving to hit your peak. And the last segment, we were really talking about the work that you gotta put in to be, what was those 3 words again?
More, better, happier.
More, better, happier. More, better, and happier, right? And so Doc was mentioning the importance of, sometimes you may be able to hit 1 out of the 3, 2 out of the 3, maybe 3 out of the 3. And my question to him was, well, wait a minute. What if you're not strong enough, quote unquote, or what if you're not capable enough?
So,
that's why you're seeking a dependency, right? So
right.
Talk to me.
So what if you're not strong enough? I think you are strong enough. I think you are capable enough. I think you just don't think you are strong enough or capable enough. And by the way, that's understandable and that's okay. All right. So I'll ask another question. Do I want to protect my ego or do I want to be happy? Because here's another thing that I've noticed. Many of us, and I know I'm going to take some flack, but I'm okay with that. If we don't have a problem, then there is no problem. And what I say by that is many of us have come to martyrdom has been elevated, okay? And I know part of that might be biblical, right? But the thing is this. Well, I mean, if you think about it, right? People who remember when the whole "I'm so busy," right? I work so much, that right? So that's kind of like we somehow celebrate that, and then we literally start to identify with our problems, right? We forget that we are bigger than our problems, right? And then we identify with our problems, and then it's like, your mind starts playing tricks on you because this is your present reality and it's hard to see a way out, right? Hard to see a way out. Your brain's telling you can't see a way out, right? And then now it's like, I identify with my problem. Then you feel like you're the only one. But the truth is, you're not the only one. It just feels like you're the only one. So we have all this, we have our brain playing tricks on us. Right, but here's the thing. I'm gonna teach everyone.
I need that Scarface song.
There's something.
That Scarface song.
There's something called secondary gain. Okay, there's something called secondary gain, and what happens is this. Like I said, if you have no problem, then there is no problem. But the thing is, if you identify by the problem, if your problem defines you, right, and then that problem goes away, or you fix it, or it becomes resolved. I'll say it that way. Then who are you? What are you left with, right? There's this uncertainty, because some people really don't know what it would be like to have a life that's clean or free or full of abundance or money in the bank or whatever. You mean, pick whatever you want, right? People fight, not everyone, but a lot of us People fight to have those problems. But the truth is I'm not saying life's easy, but there are resolutions and there are solutions and there are ways to get better, right? More. There's ways to become more and there's ways to become happier. By the way, I say happier because I don't know your baseline. I recognize that things might be rough for you, that you might not be strong enough yet. You might not be capable enough yet. And so when I say, do you want to protect your ego? Do you want to be happy? That's basically saying, look, if you don't know directions and your phone died, why wouldn't you just ask someone if they know which way is Main Street? You know what I'm saying?
Pause
Why
right
wouldn't
there. I think pause right there because I think that's the key of what I was looking for in terms of a solution. In that, one of the major points I want to kind of recap because it was poignant is that we are bigger than our problems. That's huge, right? But at times we get so engulfed and we feel powerless, right? So this is kind of like the power segment. We feel powerless because we all engulfed in our problems. But then it takes a third party person
right
to
and
do
and
that,
it's
right?
a
Because like
and
you
it's
said,
a and it's a paradox.
I love the analogy of the phone. You know, if you had your phone and you were relying on that as a map and then the battery went dead, what you still got to get to your destination. What are you going to do next? Are you just going to stand around and not go anywhere? Or are you gonna ask for somebody? And that's a perfect example of the ego or what was the other point that you made?
Do you want to protect your ego or do you want to be happy?
Or do you want to be happy? Or do you want to get to your destination?
Right.
Love
And
that. Love
so
that.
and so when I was talking about secondary gain, that's the thing, because if we identify with our problems, right? Because we do get something out of having these unsolvable problems, right? My problems are so big that I've tried everything and nothing works. What you get out of that is a sense of significance, but it's coming from the wrong place. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's coming from a place of dark. It's coming from a place of depth. It's coming from I shouldn't say depth, from despair. That's not where we derive our significance. But again, we're in a place where we have started to elevate this kind of martyr victim. And I know I don't sound very empathetic or sympathetic right now, but I don't mean it to sound that way. I've had so many conversations with so many beautiful people, right? Across, again, socioeconomic, race, like all of that. And it's like, wow. And I'm sitting against this person who's smart, right? And who wants help. And at the same time, like fighting me verbally, like, no, it can't be fixed. It's like, wait, like I'm not asking you to grow wings, jump off a building and fly. You see what I'm saying? Like that can't be fixed.
Right.
Right. That's something that's outside of the realm of. But if you feel so much pain because you keep ruminating about a thing, or you're triggered based on, certain behaviors in the workplace or in your family setting or with your friend group, those things can be solved. Those things can be dealt with. You can look at those things and gain some more understanding around that and reframe that, right? And don't underestimate the power of the reframe. And a reframe, for those who don't know, is another way to look at something. Okay.
Right.
So you can look at all that, right? And say, oh, straight up, I'll just put it this way. I believe we have all been chosen. Right? I believe we have all been chosen. We're all given cards and we're all given weights. Right? And it's up to us to play them and it's up to us to lift them. That's why and I don't know who chooses. That's between you and your God or your spirituality or the rock or whatever it is. But we have all been chosen. I don't know why. But I do know this. If you don't answer that, then you will see, then things will be chosen for you. right? Choices will be made for you. If you can answer that, right? If you can play your cards as best you can, if you can lift that weight, and I'm sorry that some others have been given more weight than others. I really am. I can't, the fairness thing, that's a whole other issue.
Right.
But you've been chosen, right? And if you can look at that and say, okay, this is my responsibility, right? This is my lot in life. Get a little biblical. What am I going to do with that? Right? It has to mean something. It does mean something. And it doesn't mean that you're destined for doom or that you're a failure or that you suck or whatever that's not what it means. It means something when you overcome it. It means something when you choose to lift that weight. And like we said, if it's hard for you to lift the weight, you can ask, right? That's why I'm here. That's why this show is here, right? We want to help you lift the weight. We ain't saying just plunk it on us. We're gonna lift it, but but if you ask and there's some effort, it's like, yo, let's do this, you know?
Right.
And there's this picture. So my mom's an artist, and black art is very. I kind of grew up a little Cosby, a little Huxtable-ish. But that'll give you a pic. But anyways, there's this picture in our house, which I took, and it's called He Ain't Heavy. And it's just a picture of a guy leaning over the fence. One arm is stretched up and the other one's stretched down, right? And it's like, he ain't heavy, right? So there are people out there willing to help you lift the weight. Okay? But if you want to elevate your problems more than what you want for your life, then it'll be much harder to lift that weight. If you want to elevate,
you gotta repeat that again, bro. You gotta repeat that again. Don't try to sneak that in and say, okay, I know it was a lot for you that you just said, but you gotta repeat what you just said.
I said, again. If you want to elevate your problems more than what you want for yourself in your life, then that same weight will feel much heavier. Okay? I'm not here to deny your problems. I'm not here to deny your feelings, but I am here to say that you can lift it. And if you cannot, you can find someone who's willing to help you, or at least give you a chisel, or at least give you a shovel to dig around and go, like this is how it's done, period. And I'm gonna let you know. No money in the bank, right? No corner office, no, I don't know what the hot car is now. No, Tesla sitting on 21s, right?
Right.
None of that's going to keep life from coming at you, right? None of that's going to keep your dog from getting hit by a car. None of that's going to keep a loved one from, getting some kind of disease. None of that's going to keep someone from being, having a genetic predisposition for something else, right?
Right.
But if you can recognize that the more, the better, and the happier are always in play, because everyone's focused on the more part. Everyone's focused on the business. I want to get this. I want to have this. I want to get this. I want to have this. But the thing is, to get more, you got to be more, right? To get more and to be more, you got to get better and be better, right? And if you're being more and if you're being better, chances are good you'll probably be happier.
Happier, yeah.
That's how it works. We have to play the whole field.
So going back to my question, and we got about 30 seconds, right? Before we go on commercial break again. Essentially, if you're not strong enough, then the answer is you ask for help.
Ask for help. Ask for help.
Because it's not about the ego.
Presidents don't elect themselves, okay? They get funding. They get backers. They have people campaign for them, right? I campaign for my clients. They have a dream.
Note, as a campaigner for your clients, we got 10 seconds. Once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives campaign for you. That's right. They teach you how to teach you how to make money, how to attract power, and how to earn respect. We'll be back here with Dr. Jason Richardson dropping some gems. Once again, only here on In Touch News Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star. See you after the break.
Cancer affects everyone, but minority populations are often hit hardest. Moffitt Cancer Center is working to address the barriers that keep some groups from getting the care they need. African Americans develop cancer at a younger age, have more aggressive cancers, and experience worse outcomes than the general population.
While cancer treatment is evolving with precision medicine, who is being left behind? We know for many decades that some groups experience a greater burden of cancer than others. We can prevent it, we can detect it early. It's very beatable when we find it early. I have worked with cancer patients during their treatment. All cancer patients have courage.
So my treatment was about 18 months. I had 3 cancers and 7 surgeries. But my son told me, like, Mom, you're the strongest person that I know. Moffitt saved my life.
During COVID-19, Moffitt is a safe place for your cancer care. Call now to schedule an appointment.
In Touch Radio.
This is Joel Sylvain
and Kevin Carr,
and we're with Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives,
influencers
share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. Come join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Power Moves
on In Touch Radio.
All right, we back. Once again, this is Power Moves. Back with Dr. Jason Richardson. We talking about the importance of mental toughness, or the challenge is it mental toughness, hard-headedness, or just plain and simple, just getting your mind right and asking for help. So normally this would be the respect segment of the program. So we're going to touch a little bit about respect in the terms of respect for yourself, because if you respect yourself, you don't focus on your ego. You focus on getting results. So with that being said, Dr. J. Rich, let's talk about, what type of results and outcomes that folks can experience as they go through this process, right? Because this is a process. You're not going to get instantaneous results. Am I right or am I wrong?
It's not even a process. I know people in business. people help me out on a business side. Like, dude, I can't believe you just said that. You need to tell them you have a process, and it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle. When I say heal, I mean heal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean heal, right? Like, as if you were the last person standing, right? Can you carry the torch? That's what I'm talking about. Like, and a fortified person is only fortified because they're willing to go in there and get dirty. They're willing to go in there, and even if they don't want to take the hits, they understand that they will probably come out of this thing with a few scars, right? And that's okay. That's okay.
But what if they're scared of getting those scars, though? What if they're not? Once again, I'm going to push back a little bit.
Fear.
Yeah. Like they don't want to deal with the scars. They don't. They just want to live an effortless life.
Oh, well then they will probably have effortless results. I can't make somebody want something that they don't want. And if they're actually good with that, great. But recognize that's a trade-off. Recognize that is a trade-off. Okay? I'm going to tell you, so I read a book, and it was actually it was a consulting book. But he talked about wealth. And I know I might be sounding like I'm going to, but he said that wealth is your ability to do what you want to do with your discretionary time.
Mm.
Okay?
Repeat that again.
Okay, wealth is your ability to do what you want to do with your discretionary time. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Did it mention that you don't work? No.
No.
Did it mention a dollar amount? No.
No.
No. And so this was mind-blowing for me. And I'm gonna be super candid. Like, and it happened to me like 2-ish, 3 summers ago. It's like I realized I'm rich. Like really rich. And it wasn't because of the amount of dollars I had in the bank. We do okay. But it was like, wait, most everything I've wanted to do in my life, I've done or have the ability to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hit if I want to hit the road and go ride, I'll do that. If I want to, like travel, like all these things, right? And by the way, there was times in my life where it's like I was like heading to a bike race. I remember I had no money, heading to a bike race, got a ticket on the way there, and I actually like I did not know how I would afford to get home. Okay, I'm not saying that's a smart decision, but my point is I did what I wanted, like that with my discretionary time. You see, so if I want to fly jets in my discretionary time, well, guess what? my responsibility to that will probably be greater, right? Because it's just going to take more ends to do that. If you want to be a surf bum with your discretionary time, I don't know. That's right. It's your rich life, right? Not this static metric. So I bring that up because it's really important that the individual defines what their wins are. Okay? What their wins are. I went in the Olympic Training Center. I did a seminar for coaches, and I said, "Look, what do your athletes want?" They said they want to win, of course. I'm like, "No, they don't. Not all of them."
Mm-hmm.
But what do you mean? Why else would you compete? Well, let me tell you. Some people, this is their community, right? Some people, they're doing this because this gets them out of the neighborhood. It's an escape, right? Some people are doing it because, yeah, they want to win and they want first place and whatever that is. Some people are doing it because they're avoiding a real job. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm getting at that is because we're talking like I'm at the Olympic Training Center saying this, right? I know this, right? Not everybody is there to win like that, like first place win, because to some degree they've defined their own wins.
Right.
So if you can help somebody work toward their win, their personal win, they might actually end up winning bigger than they thought, right? Because now they're freer, right? So what was the original question? I get excited and I get off course. We were talking about respect.
The original question was about respect on getting to your outcomes that you look
That's right, your outcomes. So we were there. I wasn't too far. So it's about defining what you want for yourself. However, if
and that's how you respect yourself, basically.
So that's one thing. The other piece is, what are you doing to get there, right? So there's this bridge, right? And so I always use this. Do you want what you really say you want? You know, because for me, I do like cars. I am a car guy, and I drive a van, and I'm like looking at cars online. Maybe I'll get this, maybe I'll get that. I'm like, I like my van. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now my 20-year-old self would have had the hot whatever, because I did. I had the Range and the NSX and the Lex and the like all of that, and they were great. But it got to a point where it's like, do I want this because I want this, or do I want this because this is what I'm supposed to want because of some normative standard that was put out there because of whatever?
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I know it sounds crazy, but I freed myself up to define my own wins. And then now that I'm moving freer, right, I'm less bound by external things. I can work on my unfinished business, right? My father died a couple of years ago of cancer, right? I have an older brother, right? I'm carrying the torch, right? So without getting all deep into my stuff, like, dude, there was some stuff that I there were some weights I wanted to carry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a time as a young guy who did have big shoulders to stand on, my father, rest in peace, right? I wasn't willing to carry it. And I didn't know if I could carry it. And that got at me a little bit. And it affected my work performance and it affected my personal performance. Because the thing is, like, if you want to define what your win is and it's true to you, like that's what you want in your heart of hearts to sleep well at night. And then you can match that up with the effort to go get it, whether it's big or small, but just the constant movement toward whatever it is your defined win is, then you can have respect for yourself. And then the other people who are looking at you are like, dang, that fool's crazy, but he's going for it. She said blah blah blah. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but she's going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, right? It's a long game. It's a long game. It'll be over before you know it, but it's a long game. Okay. And the object is, how can I play in a way where I can keep playing? Because it's a lifestyle.
So I'm happy you brought that up because this is a great way to kind of sum everything together, right? Because we got 3 minutes left. So if you can pack it up into, a 3-step plan, 5-step plan, whatever the case may be. But the last burning question that I have is, when do you take the time to do this? To do this inventory, to ask those questions that you mentioned. How do we get these tools that you speak of from you?
How do you get them from me personally? Well, you can always contact me at drjasonrichardson.com or my Instagram at realdrjrich. I am literally writing a book about this right now, and it's called More, Better, Happier, a letter to my kids disguised as leadership. And and I get into this stuff, but and the reason why I say it's lifestyle is because it's not done. Like that's something that I had to learn. It is you are never done. But that's a good thing.
Right.
That's a good thing. You ever notice that the people who don't have to work continue to work?
Yes.
Right. Meanwhile, people who are like can't wait to retirement can't stand working.
That's right. That's right.
Right. So the time to take inventory is brushing your teeth. The time to take that inventory is, and I'm not talking like, going to some mountaintop and meditating, although that would be great. I'm talking like, 5 minutes here, 3 minutes there. Just taking that time, and you are already taking the time when you're driving home, when you're on the commute, when you're, in those moments by yourself, you are taking the time. The question is like, why aren't you doing the thing, right? There's things you can do right now that would make your life better. And there's things you can stop that would make your life better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so just work on those two things. No pointing fingers. Yes, I know politically this country's crazy. Yes, I know, health wise and mask or no mask or vaccine or no, all that stuff. Forget all that stuff. Two things. What can I do that would help my life be better? What can I stop doing that would help my life be better? That's the challenge. If you can answer those two questions every day and get to work on those things every day, exponentially the interest you'll gain, the success you'll have, boom. And by the way, that encompasses everything, not just work. I'm talking like everything. The head and the heart. See what I'm saying?
So let's close this out with the definition of wealth, because I love that.
Definition of wealth. So, wow, how did I say it again? So it is your ability to do what you want to do with your discretionary time.
With your discretionary time, because we all know time is money and our time is up in 20 seconds. So once again, a great episode of Power Moves with the man, Dr. Jason Richardson. Go check him out, www.drjasonrichardson.com, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That's right, drjasonrichardson.com. You got it.
And where else can they find you?
On the gram, that's at Real Dr. J Rich. That's at RealDrJrich. And More, Better, Happier will be out, I'm going to say, by Christmas.
By Christmas. So get that Christmas gift while you have some vacation time so that you could be more, better, and happier going into 2022. And once again, in a great episode of Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you next week, baby. We're going to have a clinical psychologist, Dr. Ampu. He got me reserved, and he's going to drop some meditation tips as well.
Nice.
I don't know if you want to come back again, Doc. You know, if you're definitely,
anytime.
You're always welcome to come anytime because we love having you through here. You the man. All right. See you.
I appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you.